Seth Gold, and I'm watching Jiggy Jag TV.
Okay.
It's like it happens. Zoom.
Have at it.
Okay. Jiggy Jag TV, Jigman Freud, the master debater, the cunning linguist, the admirable alliteration, at the fucking Red Shed, the world famous Red Shed, and we have the headliner this evening, Mr. Jeff Leeson.
Leeson. Yeah.
Because we did.
Here's your first lesson.
This is my first lesson. It's Leeson.
Yeah.
So.
Did you just call yourself a masturbator, by the way?
Oh, yes.
Did I pick that up in the opening?
Master debater.
Yeah, that's not everybody will do that in the intro of their show. Good for you for admitting that.
So, tell me a little bit about your performance this evening, because it's like you had a show, but you also pulled from the audience that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I do that every show. So I try to make each show like personal and unique to each audience in each town.
That's awesome.
Not everywhere will give me what happened here this evening, which was unbelievable, and I still am not 100% sure if I'm dreaming right now and I'm about to wake up from a nap in my hotel.
Oh, you're in a Red Shed, brother.
Yeah, I was. Everything that happened in here was absolutely fantastic. So this was one of my favorite crowds I think I've ever seen, and one of the coolest venues, and certainly a great outcome from what seemed like I was going to die when I got here.
I will have to say, when you come around that corner the first time, you're just like, where the hell am I going?
It was the first turn. I mean, had there not been a construction sign that said the Red Shed on it,
yes, they have signage, and I think that's part of the reason why they have the signage.
Thank goodness, otherwise you think you're going to the fucking woods, and you think you're about to die, which I did, and I turned to Tig, and we said goodbye to each other, and just in case. But then, lo and behold, once you get past the white shed in the house,
that's right,
you arrive here to a very cool venue. So.
And then when you walk in, you're like, they've played here, what the?
Oh, not at all what I was expecting when I walked in. Yeah. No, not. I was expecting garden equipment, things like an attic, so stuff you have to
like an attic.
Move out of the way, no lighting, set up your own.
Oh, they got lighting.
Oh, they got lighting. They got lighting. They got an actual stage, carpeted. Carpeted. I mean, normally we're on the floor, but we're up on a stage that's carpeted. I mean, couldn't have been better. I loved it.
It's quite the deal.
Yeah.
And at the end of the night, you don't have to worry about getting paid.
Not at all. Not at all.
So it's good.
It's fantastic. I loved it.
How did you get started doing comedy?
I started when I was 14, actually, and how it started for me was I was voted valedictorian of my grade 8 class. I gave a speech, not because I was a good student, I could give a speech without wetting myself, basically, and the other students couldn't. So they gave it to me, I gave a speech, and I kind of did a little, roasting of the teachers and, a little bit of what could be stand-up.
Awesome.
Yeah, and people laughed, and then I ended up getting a standing ovation from the speech, and as I stepped back, I was like, whoa, what the hell was that? And I was a huge fan of stand-up comedy. I used to watch it every day, and so I would watch that, and then once I experienced that feeling, I was like, whatever that is, I want that forever. And so that was kind of how it started for me.
That's awesome. So who are your top 5 comics that you
Oh boy. Oh, that's
if that's possible.
I know, it's so tough. I mean, George Carlin is a huge. Okay, well, actually, let's start from the beginning. The person who got me into stand-up that I was the first fan of was Jerry Seinfeld. He was like the first sort of comedian that I really looked into, watched anything I could find of his old stuff, Carson and all that. Yeah. Loved his show, obviously. So Seinfeld has to be on there. George Carlin was that was my mom's favorite comedian. And I just loved his rants and how he wrote, and I just loved his overall performance. I've seen probably every one of his HBO specials.
That's awesome.
And I saw him live the year before he died. He came to my hometown and we saw him at an arena there. So yeah, and it was he was obviously older and whatever, but he was still great. I mean, it was still, and it was really cool to see him. So I'm going to say Seinfeld, George Carlin. You said 5, right?
Yes,
yeah.
You can get 5.
I know, it's so tough.
If you can't get 5, that's fine.
Okay, I'm going to say Bill Burr, I really love.
I love
actually.
Bill Burr. I'm a big Bill Burr mark.
Yeah, Bill Burr's fantastic. Really love his stuff.
Can't believe he's in fucking Star Wars of all.
Oh, I know, right? I know.
All those years.
And he's like a really good actor.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Have you seen King of Staten Island
Yes.
with Pete Davidson? He's really good. Like, it's kind of funny, but he has like some serious stuff in there, and it's actually really good. So I'd say Bill Burr. So I love Kevin Hart. And mostly what I love about Kevin Hart is his work ethic, his hustle, his drive, and the extra stuff. I love his stand-up, especially Grown Little Man, which was like kind of the special that originally made him pop.
Yeah.
So I really love him, but I love his overall vibe, I would say. And then Don Rickles, I would put on there as well.
Rickles.
He's a huge
Rickles mark.
Yeah, he was... I became aware of him kind of later on. Like, I didn't really know him that much when I was younger. But once I saw him on Carson and watched some specials and stuff, I was a huge fan. So, there you go. There's
awesome.
5.
Like, that's awesome. So, you guys are on this little tour.
Yeah.
How was it to get here, leaving Canada with all the craziness going on up there? Was it not as hard as they say it was? Or?
Well, so... The day we left, they closed the Windsor border, which is Detroit for you guys. But we go to the Sarnia Port Huron border because it's smaller. I find them nicer, to be honest, and just easier, like an overall vibe. So people were sent there. So we had more of a lineup than normal. Like usually we just get right in. So there's a bit of a wait and a bit of a lineup, but overall we were able to get in and get over. It's actually tougher getting back to Canada right now. It's a pain in the ass, to be honest. Canada has really made it difficult to come back because you gotta fill out an app, you gotta get a negative COVID test within 72 hours. Sometimes you have to take another one at the border. You gotta it's just a whole fiasco. So I love coming here because you guys just ask, where are you going?
Yeah.
The guy at the border was like, are you in Canada you have to fill out an app, then prove you're vaccinated, then show them, then they have to scan it. Like you have to prove all this shit to come fucking home. I'm like, I live here. Please let me in my house. But down here the guy's just like, are you vaccinated? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, all right, go ahead. Like, no proof. I could have lied. He doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing comedy in a shed in Hutchinson, Kansas. Oh, good luck. Have a great time. Are you sure you're not going to die? I don't know. We'll see when I get there. And so it was very, very easy, and I love that. Love it.
That's fantastic. So, tell me a little bit about where we can find you on the web and all these things, because I want to get into the book of stupid questions. I have a couple of questions I have to ask you.
The book of stupid questions?
The book of stupid questions.
Somebody wrote that?
I haven't used this in a long time.
Amazing.
I figured I would use it with the comedians because you guys could have all sorts of fun with.
I'm very excited. What was the question I have to answer before we get to the stupid
plugs.
ones?
Website, all
Jeff, YouTube, Jeff Leeson Show on YouTube, Jeff Leeson Comedian on Instagram, Jeff Leeson Comedy on Facebook and TikTok. Jeff Leeson Comedy on TikTok. There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I have found a couple stupid questions for you.
I'm so excited.
If you could give your partner extreme pleasure in bed simply by sneezing, would you do it, or would that be considered cheating?
I have done it. There was a time I was going down, you know what I mean? And I must have had some pepper in my nose, I guess. I sneezed, but it seemed to work. And she said, whatever you did, do that again. And so from now on, I take pepper with me anytime I go down yonder, if you will.
At least you kept it all in the... And I will have to say, before we get to the last stupid question, usually when the lovely and talented, she's not my assistant, even though I like to call her the assistant, Brittany, goes to comedy shows, she never laughs. And from the minute you started till the time you end, she was just the loudest laughing chick here.
Really? Oh, yes. I'm honored. That's awesome. That sucks to be the other comedians, but that sucks that the other comedians you've been to, you didn't laugh, but I'm so honored that you laughed here.
It's strange, because even at one point she's like, I never laughed this much at comedy shows. You know, all that crap.
Now, I don't know you. Was that a good impression?
Probably not. Probably not.
No, I didn't think so. Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
I know.
gotta work on our Britney impression
I gotta
here.
work on our Britney. Okay, so what famous person do you think you most resemble?
Well, some people say James Corden, and others have called me a shitty Baldwin brother.
Wow.
Like they can't quite name. They can't quite.
Shitty Baldwin.
Yeah, like it's not the famous. It's not Alec. It's like
it's not Alec.
one of the guys who was in Daddy Daycare or whatever the fuck those videos are. You know, and they can't name them. They're just like, yeah, you look like one of them. But I get James Corden a lot.
What about some of your friends?
Like, what do they look like? You want me to pull out their Facebooks for you? We can just flick through them. You can tell me. Who's this? This is my buddy Jason. Who does he look like? No, what do you mean, my friend?
Well, like for instance, the host this evening. What famous person does he resemble?
Ty Gray?
Yeah.
Did you ask him this?
No.
Okay, well, this is his joke, so I did not. This is not my joke.
Okay.
But his joke is that he looks like Jesus if Jesus came back, but he kept all the bread.
Okay.
Right? Now, other people have said before he does sort of look like Jason Momoa, but he, when again, not mine, he will say he looks like Jason Mimosa because he's not shredded like Jason Momoa. But otherwise, who else does he? He looks like someone else, right? Especially because, have you seen him with his hair down, or has he had it up the whole time?
I think he's had it up.
Okay, so he has like long hair.
Yeah.
So it's like the long hair with the beard. So he probably looks like somebody from a rock band, I would say.
Silent Bob?
Silent Bob? Does he? Yeah, I guess like old school. Yeah, absolutely. But the key is the long hair. But if he's had it up, then this probably doesn't make any sense what I'm saying right now. But do you have editing? Do you edit?
Oh yeah.
Throw in a picture of Tig with his hair down, and then Jason Momoa, just from here up. You can see. Oh, somebody on TikTok said he looks like Nicolas Cage from what's the movie where he's long hair and The Rock or something. Yeah. There's a video on TikTok where he's sitting on the toilet doing a video, and you only see him from here up, and there's like tons of comments that he looks like Nicolas Cage from that movie. So yeah.
So when do you guys get done with your tour? What? Because you guys.
I'm ending it now. This is. I'm calling it here. This is
calling it.
I might. Yeah. There ain't gonna be a better show. So why continue the fucking tour after you do the Red Shed? We go to Minden, Nebraska tomorrow. We go to Michigan. Tig leaves after Michigan. I head down to Lincoln, Nebraska, then Arizona, Gilbert, Arizona, then Tucson, Arizona, and then into California, New Mexico, and then back to Canada for May to do a tour in Ontario.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I guess one more question, and I gotta ask you this: what did you guys think when you showed up here at the Red Shed? Because after coming around that corner,
after the death,
yeah.
after we thought we were gonna die, that was our first thought.
You're like, what the fuck? And
it wasn't even what the fuck. It was, oh wow, we're dead. We're dying. We are dying. Goodbye. It was a pleasure knowing you, Tig, right? We said our goodbyes. But otherwise, when we walked in, so first of all, in the parking lot, as we saw people bringing in their alcohol, which we never see, because we do venues where you buy it there. No. We were like, this could be interesting, and this could really go one of two ways, because we've done like campsites and stuff where they camp there, so they bring their alcohol to the, whatever the venue is, and those can get a little out of hand because there's nobody to cut you off. Yeah. So we were like, this could either go really bad or it could be really good, and it way surpassed any expectations. And as soon as we walked in and saw the setup, it was like, I can't believe what is happening in this fucking shed. Yeah. I absolutely cannot.
And then you look at some of these musicians they've had here, and you're like, they fucking played here. They've been here.
Oh, yeah. And I would, like, if you just think you're going to a shed or you don't know anything about it, it's like you could be like, what the hell am I getting into? But now it's like, I don't want to do other shows that aren't this. Like, that's how good it was. Seriously, it was. absolutely awesome, and I had no idea what to expect, but anything I ever could have, this far and away.
It's a hell of a deal.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Anybody that is a touring act that they would have here, come to the Red Shed and play it, because you'll have the time of your life. Best people, best venue, and you get some stupid questions after.
There you go.
You know?
Well, thanks to Jeff, and thanks for watching Jiggy Jag TV.